So what do you think? 2020 Kawasaki ZH2. As super nakeds go, that's about as crazy as it gets. 1000cc, 200 brake horsepower, supercharged. Yeah. Let's take that for a spin and see how we get on.
I'm seeing shimmers in this long-lasting dream.
Look at what we've got today. Some Ninja ZH2 goodness. You might have saw it in a recent video of mine where I was talking about I might be done with road bikes, and what occurred to me was, thanks mate, what occurred to me was actually maybe I'm just not using the right tool for the job. I'm always going to be sort of track day first. That's my passion, that's what I love to do, and that's sort of what the RSV is going to be for. But it's not really a road bike, and neither is any of the bikes I've had. And rather than just not riding on the road, what I thought was, why don't I try a more dedicated road bike? And I've never ridden a sort of super naked bike before, like a more sit up and leg style bike. Never had one. Literally, this is the first time I've ever ridden one. So I thought, why not give the bad boy of all bad boys a go? This is for all you stat geeks out there. Listen, again, same MO as my last videos, my all these quote unquote review videos. They're not reviews. Go and Google reviews if you want. This is literally just me, a bit of a moron, testing out bikes and seeing what I like, and I'm contemplating buying one of these. So it's my first impressions. And I'm just giving it a whirl. But this is 200 brake horsepower. It's a heavy bike. It doesn't feel heavy actually. 215 kilograms. First impressions are, it feels quite small, like short. But it's comfortable. I'm just sort of super comfy. This is supercharged as well. Nice light clutch. It's been raining a bit today, which is ideal for a 200 brake horsepower supercharged bike, but I have ridden down on the RSV4, which is even more brake horsepower, so we'll be okay. So it feels like my, similar to my old Kawasaki, in that there's a fair bit of plastic around on it. It doesn't sort of feel and scream as premium as the Aprilia. I've sat on the Ducati, which I'm also going to test soon, the Street Fighter version. I've sat on that, and that just feels premium, but it's got a premium price tag. So that's one thing to bear in mind. But yeah, I thought I'd give Super Naked a try, see what I think. Whoa! Can you hear the supercharger chirping away when you roll off? I should buy this bike just for that. That's funny. Brakes are sharp. What sort of brakes they've got actually? I imagine with 200 brake horsepower and a supercharger they'd be pretty fucking good. but they do feel sharp actually. I've never sort of been a massive fan of super naked bikes. I like a full fairing and a sports bike, and that's what appeals to me visually. But just sitting on this literally 2 minutes out of the showroom, listen to that chirping, just 2 minutes out of the showroom, I get it. I mean, this is just comfortable. Throttle response is quite jerky actually. Like my ZX6 was the same. I hated that about that ZX6R, and until I got it ECU flashed, it was a pain in the arse. It was literally like an on-off throttle, and I think it's something to do with the Euro 4/Euro 5 emissions, where they have to be really lean low down in the rev range to get them through the emissions regulations, and yeah, and that makes the throttle really jerky. Yeah, watch. So that's off. Yeah. I mean, coming from my Aprilia and thinking about the BMW S1000RR, for example, those two throttles are two of the nicest throttles that I've ever used. Like, just butter smooth. And this one's, yeah, a bit on-off again. I don't like that. I'm gonna go and sit on the motorway and see how I like it as well. Just. I'm thinking of doing sort of more long distance trips and try and sort of spice up the track day stuff with maybe some European touring trips, but I don't want to go too, you know, BMW GS old money. I still want something a bit nuts. So I'm thinking about this, the Street Fighter, what's the KTM one, Super Duke R. I don't like that Yamaha MT-10, it looks like Wall-E. Have you seen the film, the bloody robot Wall-E thing? It's the most hideous looking thing I've ever seen. It sounds nice, but no thanks. Oh, the Tuono. Think about the Tuono, I don't want a Tuono because I've already got an RSV and I like different things, so it feels like a Tuono would be... I don't want two Aprilias, I want to mix it up a bit. But just sort of buzzing around behind this car, other than the slightly snatchy throttle, putting third. It feels lovely. The levers and everything feel nice, easy to ride. It's actually better at low revs than my V4. That RSV4 does not like shugging around in low revs, does not like it at all. So like if you're in traffic and stuff, it's not a happy chappy. But this is actually surprisingly compliant and civilized. Because I still want to have a bike that's, you know, capable of keeping up with, you know, reasonably fast people in the twisties as well. That's quite important to me.
Okay, so just to show some footage here in the twisties, unfortunately my mic packed out when I went around those twisty lanes. Bike feels fine around the twisties, it feels soft, which I'm sure you can dial that out, but it was really composed, super comfortable, didn't get out of shape at all, even with all that power. But my main concern with that bike and my sort of confidence knocker with that bike is that throttle. I can't get away from that. When you were in the bends, as you were starting to be mid-corner and starting to think about asking for some throttle, as you picked the bike up, the throttle was so jerky and so snatchy and so on-off that it really just did not feel nice. And with that amount of power and a supercharger on instant tap, you do not want a jerky throttle. So this is some footage of the twisties. In general, like I said, the handling aspect of the bike within those faster corners and sweepers was really nice, if not a bit soft, but still. But the throttle was a big problem. So that would need some dialing out if you were considering buying one of those bikes.
I love these levers. These levers feel so much nicer than the Aprilias. See, this is the crap you're going to get from my channel. You're not going to get stats and facts and figures and all that crap. You're going to get that the levers feel nice and it's a bit plasticky and the throttle's a bit snatchy. This is just what I'm thinking about and what's coming out of my head as I'm talking to you about this bike. And these are the things that you live with day by day. And really, when you go and buy a bike, that's kind of what you want to be thinking about. I mean, all the bikes, the Ducati, the KTM, all these bikes are stupid fast. They'll all go around corners quicker than I can, or most likely you can as well. You know, it's what do you like the look of and what can you live with. That's why I bought the RSV, because I like the look of it and it made me smile. It's that simple, really. That being said, the Ducati sounds nice, but again, that Duke's a lot of money. They're really premium bikes for their premium prices, and I actually might consider it for that type of bike though, because this isn't a bike that I'd abuse particularly hard. I'm not going to take it to the track. I might do one track day a year on it just for a giggle, but I'm not going to go hard on a track with it. So actually, it may be something that I could do. And the Ducati for a super naked does look really pretty. It's got cruise control. Oh, it's got heated grips. Has it got heated grips? No idea. It's fast. It's really fast. Gearbox is not as nice as mine. Gearbox is a bit jerky. Although they did say, to be fair, that this is not quite running yet, so apparently on the first service they do something to the quick shifter. I don't know if that was bullshit or not, but maybe. I wonder what it's like on fuel with a supercharger. Probably cock and balls, but actually the point of the video is, do I want a super naked or do I want to pack riding in on the roads? And actually this feels like lovely and comfortable. The style of bike, maybe not this bike, but the style of bike feels gorgeous. I need to ride a few of these. I need to ride the other two just to get an idea. Careful now, because these roads are damp. There's been a shower cloud. Land right on this bit here. What are you doing, Mr. Lorry? Really cautious of how much power I've got, and if you look at this slip road, it's greasy. Actually, that gearbox was better there. I think it was just a bit low speed and was perhaps not quite as smooth. Mirrors are brilliant. You can see a shitload out of the mirrors compared to mine, which is basically fuck all. I may as well take them off. In fact, I'm actually probably going to. I've ordered some mirror blanking plates from R&G for track day use, but I'm not sure I'm even going to put them back on, to be honest. Speed camera. So at motorway speeds, you know, the wind's there, but it's not too bad. Oh yeah, you can feel there's a lot of power in the mid-range. So I just switched the camera off a bit there, just so I could test out the bike on the motorway bit and go to 10% plus 2 and all that. The first impression on the power is it's just silky smooth. It's just effortless power. Like it doesn't feel as raw and as sort of aggressive as the RSV, but the power is just. It's kind of feels a bit like an electric car kind of power, like just sort of smooth, creamy power. I don't know how else to describe it. Creamy, what an awful word to describe that. The supercharger sounds like there's an alien. You know the film Aliens? Listen to that. What was the other film as well? I can't remember. There's a film where there's a load of aliens that come after you. Sounds like Aliens. My sort of negative things about it is it feels a bit cheap, with all due respect. My ZX6R, it didn't feel that cheap. I mean, I've come off the Aprilia now, which has got a nice sort of premium feel with Ohlins and electronic dampers, and I've looked at the Ducati that's got a similar thing, although that Street Fighter Ducati's got a lot of plastic on it. This does feel a little bit cheaper, but it is a bit cheaper, so you know, what do you want? from a comfort point of view, the suspension is absolutely gorgeous. It's plush. Couldn't ask for it to be more comfortable, actually. I mean, just riding back now from the dealership to near where I live, and it's super comfy. It just sounds like an alien. It looks cool. I like this red, like, anodized frame. Quite like this colourway, actually. I think it looks pretty nice, better than the Kawasaki green. I think I'm done with that colour now for a bit. Had it for a year. Yeah, I'm on the fence, if I'm honest, at the minute. There's good points and bad points about this. Let me ride it a bit more and I'll give some closing thoughts. I'm trying not to make this a 25-minute video, to be honest. I just want to give you an initial impressions on what I think, and then when I look to buy one, it's kind of like what I did with the RSV. I'll perhaps talk a bit more in depth about it.
So welcome to the channel. So welcome back. So what did I think about the ZH2 Ninja? Good points first. So good points were there's power. I mean, it was almost like an electric car. It was instant, immediate, every gear, rapid, super smooth, super fast. Suspension, lovely, really plush, really comfortable. Maybe a bit soft, but for the roads, doing big miles, perfect. Lovely suspension. Brakes, amazing, really sharp. What else did I like? I like the comfort, the position, the seating position. Like I said, this is the first sort of super naked I've ever ridden, and I get it. I really get why they've been popular, certainly on the roads. There were a few negative points about that particular bike though. I just felt the main two things really were the throttle. I did not like the throttle. It was just like my ZX6R when I first got that. It was just super snatchy, on, off, on, off. But because that's 200 brake horsepower supercharged, it was exaggerated even more. You know, in the fact that you're in corner, you're mid-corner, you're wanting to pick the bike up and ask for the throttle, and it was just like it was like a hair trigger, and it just really kicked the confidence out of me with the bike in corners. To be honest with you, that's something I'm sure you could dial it out, but I'd struggle to live with that. That's a big problem for me, that's all. And the other thing was, it just felt, I love Kawasaki's, but it just felt a little bit cheap. It looked nice, excuse me, but it just felt a little bit cheap. Some of the plastics and just the general overlook of it was just a bit cheap. And you look at it next to the KTM or the Ducati, which I get, you know, they're more money, but it did look a bit cheap. That being said, it was an absolute riot to ride. Sort that throttle out, and that's a lot of bike for the money. So yeah, look, that's my general thoughts. I'm going to test ride the Ducati and the KTM at some point soon, and then we'll figure out if it's the right thing to do. But ultimately, the point of today really was to see, do I want a super naked bike? And yeah, I do, but I just need to figure out if I've got time for it, if I can make use of it. But I certainly get it. But most of my riding is done on the track. Yeah, I need to give that some thought. But super naked bikes, well, great fun, a lot of fun. So yeah, look, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you like the content, if you can hit the subscribe button and the like button, and if you hit the little bell icon, it'll notify you when my videos get uploaded. It really helps me out. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I'm seeing shimmers in this long lasting